founder of Melting IceCubes. My backstory, before we get to why I decided to rip it up, was that I was always working in banking. So I'd done a lot of project management, program management, a lot of communications and training. And I'd done that for over 20 years. And I'd seen that, I thought that that would be my career forever. I love project management, I love change delivery, and I love engaging people and enabling them to adapt to change. However, alongside that story, we all have a personal life. And in my personal life, I have 5 children. And one of those children, the middle one, was, I felt from a very young age, a little bit different to my other children. Not in terms of intelligence, but in terms of motor skills and just odd little things. She trembled a lot, she stumbled a lot. And I kept taking her to the doctors to say, I feel there's something wrong with my child. And they kept sending me away saying, you're a very over-anxious mom, go away. And this went on for a few years. And then when she was 8, I took her back and I said, there is definitely something wrong with my child. This time, they could not deny that she could not walk in a straight line and that she seemed a little bit drunk. And tests revealed that she had a genetic illness, a devastating illness. She had Friedreich's ataxia. And I was basically told, you was very interested here, we're all going to die. I was told, don't expect tomorrow for your daughter. No day is promised. Tomorrow is not promised for you. So with that in mind and still having a career and work, Christy, my little girl, very intelligent, just wanted to get on with her life, just like her brothers and sisters. Okay, you could tell her all of the things that were going to happen, and they did. And she could feel that she was losing her ability to walk, and that her hands were not working properly, and that her hearing was failing. Lots of different things. But she didn't care about those things, because she was still Christy. She was still a person, and she still wanted to achieve whatever it was that she dreamt of. And I found it was almost impossible to support her in that. Because actually, as a society, what we tend to do is categorise people. And now that she was categorised as having a degenerative illness, she could no longer attend the normal school. They wanted to put her into a school where there were lots of other poor people. And there was our first fight. We had to fight to maintain her in mainstream education. My other fights were with medics who saw their discipline within Christy. So I am a heart specialist, I'm a kidney specialist, I look after the voice, I look after the hearing. They looked at her in very siloed ways of speaking with us. And that caused me a lot of problems because I was not a medical person, I was a banker. And I had to negotiate my way through terminology that I did not understand. And I had to keep my child safe. I felt like I had an egg in the palm of my hand, and I felt that it would fall off if I didn't take care. And what I had to do was to learn, understand very quickly lots of medical terminology so that I could have intelligent conversations with people who felt that they were very expert, which they are, but not in my daughter. Because there was lots of intuitive things that I felt and could see that they yet could not see because they hadn't tested the right tests. And through all of that, what I also had to do was fight with everybody to ensure that they did not see Christy as her condition, but saw her as she was a person. So fast forward, Christy went through mainstream school for the whole of her education. She went to university. She achieved one of the highest firsts in her degree of her whole year. And along that journey, we challenged medical decisions. I challenged drugs. I challenged methods of treatment. And we were able to make sure that Christy had a really good quality of life. Until this year, when a doctor decided that actually he needed to take her off some drugs which I straight away knew he should not do, but he did it. And it caused her heart to go into failure. And she stayed in hospital for 7-8 weeks. She passed away in April. Basically, he didn't speak to his colleagues. He didn't listen to me. They didn't have a joined up conversation. And in the midst of this, a very intelligent young woman whose condition had stripped away so many of her motor skills that her quality of life was actually quite low anyway now, made a decision that she wanted to die, that she wanted to reduce all of the drugs that she was on, and she wanted to allow her body to shut down. We had to have a conversation with doctors that said, we want you to do this. And they said, we have a duty of care and we need you to do X. And we said, that's what you said, but actually, had you not stopped her kidney meds, she would not be in this position anyway. Long story short, yes, she passed away. What does that mean to me and Melting IceCubes? All along Christy's journey, we met people in clinics, doctor surgeries, schools, up and down the country, because our appointments were varied according to where her specialist was based. And I always met parents, and as she grew older, not parents, but adults who had lived their whole lives with multiple conditions or serious chronic illness. And they were having exactly the same fights and conversations that we were having. And I'm a person who always believes that you can change things. They don't have to stay the same. And so I decided to change my focus and create a platform which is called Melting IceCubes. Purposely, the name is nothing to do with health. I wanted people to sit up and think, what is Melting IceCubes? But also, in talking to many people who live with illness, they don't see themselves as that illness. They're still the same person, and they just want to live. So Melting IceCubes, ice is solid, but given the right conditions, it can change. And that was the name we chose. What does the platform do? The platform enables you as a person to log on, sign up, put in your condition or multiple conditions. And we have used artificial intelligence, machine learning, and we have categorized data that we pull from a number of sources that we trust. And we've pulled it from places like the NHS, Medworm, Google, lots of different search engines. The important point is that we have taught machine learning what good looks like. Our algorithms know what good looks like. And so according to your condition, it will search for information, and then we do another thing, we organise it. It's like opening filing cabinets. What can we find out about work and this condition? Travel, education, how do I get on with my life? What about medical matters? What can I find there? And we categorise and organise that data. That's a really powerful thing to do, because ordinarily you get kicked out of a doctor's or consultant room with a handful of leaflets, worst case scenario, distressing information, and off you go. What our site also does is pull in a number of videos and film information, so you can actually see people who have got the same condition that you have. And you can see that they're getting on with life and how they manage a travel issue or how they manage an education issue. And that breaks down barriers, it breaks down fear, it makes you feel that you can achieve, and it also supports families in the way that they approach that condition. The other side of Melting IceCubes, though, is about wanting to make a real change. Because what I want to do is not accept the way that things are. I want to use the power of community, the people on the site, to create a really loud voice for change that will help to shape and drive policy in the way that we do things. The other thing that I want to do is to enable people to tell their stories. So we're thinking about looking around for collaborators who we can work with. We've been talking to people from Benumi, for instance, which is a video tool that allows you to make and edit films yourself. So there will be that side of the site. There's also a repository for templates. So I've had to make lots of appeals, challenge lots of decisions. That takes a lot of letters. If you've got the DWP knocking down your door around PIP, how do you challenge their decisions? So templates that can help people. And all in all, what I want to do is to enable people who know that they're going to die, who know that they have terrible challenges ahead of them, understand that that is not the most important thing. Yes, it's important, but actually the first thing you've got to do is live. And no matter the challenges that you have, that is really possible. You know, we switch on the Paralympics and we see people and we see amazing things, and people all have skills and things that they're able to do. And so Melting IceCubes is just a platform to help people get on with life, to help drive change, and to help change the conversations that we have around illness and death. Because one of the new things that we've added because of our recent experiences is how do we have a conversation about achieving a dignified death. That's Melting IceCubes.